Welcome to the channel. I've got a new project I'm starting on and it should be pretty interesting. It's a 70 Chevelle and several people have worked on this thing. So the owner was stuck trying to find somebody to finish this project up. And it's not too big of a job, but there's all kinds of little stuff to do on the car to get it ready for paint. Let me show you the first thing I'm going to be working on. I've got the left door here and there's some dents in here I'm going to take care of. The door is actually pretty clean. It's been painted a few times. But the main issue is somebody tried making this door fit to the aftermarket fender, and what they ended up doing is grinding this edge down, and there's probably missing about a 1/4 inch off of here. Went all the way through the skin. There's not much left of the skin on the back side. I'm going to re-weld this whole front edge, rebuild it all. So to start on this project, the car is still at the owner's home, and I had him pull the door off and drop it off to me so I can get started on that. So I had the owner make a paper template of the fender, so I've got a rough guide to begin with. I took that paper template, I transferred it to a piece of cardboard, made a heavier template, and that'll go up against the edge of the door here. Once I start welding it up, I can have a rough idea how it's supposed to be. When the car gets here and I hang the door, then I can fine tune it. Yeah, I've got a little welding to do here, but it shouldn't be too bad. For starters, I'm gonna roll this thing outside, grind all this paint back so I can see what I've got to work with. I'm going to have to splice a piece onto here because there's quite a bit missing. This has been molested a few times. A lot of Bondo in here, multiple layers of paint. Been brazed up. I don't know what actually happened here. There's a hole in here. So it's all repairable. And my motto has always been, if you think it looks bad now, just wait till I'm done with it. Here's a look at the back side of this door. The inner lip of the skin is gone. And it's got all these tack welds on here where somebody had ground through it, and then they tacked it all together to keep it from separating. Come all the way down to here, and it's actually ground through. I can weld this up, most of this area across here, and build it up, but I think I'm going to make a new inner lip here to extend this out, weld it all on the front side. And I'm not sure what was going on up here. I've got that brass in here. I don't know if there's damage to this part of the shell. I'll have to wait to fit it onto the car and see how that looks. I'm going to use this piece of sheet metal and build a new edge of this door skin. And I hope this is legal, but I'm using a piece of forged sheet metal to weld onto this Chevy. This will be the inside of the door skin. Get that clamped in nice and tight. And I'll flip the door over and I'll start welding underneath here to build this up, and I'm going to leave this on here. When I get the welds all built up where I need it, then I can cut it off, grind it down. I'll also weld up this seam here, keep building it up, and then I'll match it up with my template and we should be good. That'll look like a skin rolled over on the inside. The outside's going to be a lot of weld, but that way I have a backer to weld all this on. So let me flip it over and we'll take a look. Okay, it's not looking too bad. I put some weld through primer on this patch and on the back side of the door. It's clamped tight. I'm going to start tacking it between the clamps and start building this out. When I get down here where this brass is, I'll have to get creative. I'll probably have to braze it because you can't ever grind that off and MIG weld over it. It's going to cause all kinds of issues. So the brass will be good. I'll fill this hole in and probably finish this whole corner up in brass. So the next thing, start welding on this. Okay, I've got plenty of weld on here. Probably a little bit too much, but I'd rather be able to just keep grinding on it than have a low spot and have to build it up later. The reason I left this piece so long, it should help draw some of the heat away from the door. I'm going to start stitching up this edge here, get that done, and then it's probably time to cut this off and start grinding. Let's take a look at the back side here. Doesn't look bad. Got the lip of the skin here, blended in pretty good. It needs a little more cleaning up, but it actually looks pretty good. Now the template I made doesn't look too bad on here, but I think there's still quite a bit has to be ground off. And I think I'm going to leave it like it is until the car shows up here, and then I'll make a template actually off the other door, and that'll be a lot more accurate than going off the aftermarket fender. And there's a few spots need to be welded up, but there's also stuff needs to be ground down, so once I get it close, I'll fine-tune everything. And this corner here is going to need a lot of work, so I'm going to wait until I take a look at the other door and actually see how this corner is supposed to be formed in here. What I'm going to do while I'm waiting on the car is take care of all the dents in this door, so that'll probably be the next video. That'll wrap this up. Thanks for watching.